Hi friends, welcome to our channel Beyond the Mind. Today I will begin with a question. Why do some people remain stuck in pain, helplessness or struggle? Why do we see people who are intelligent, capable, hardworking, yet silently living their potential? Today I want to talk about difficult truth. Sometimes suffering is not just endured, it is accepted. And once suffering becomes familiar, freedom starts being uncomfortable. This is not about blaming anyone. This is about understanding the mind and going beyond it. Over time, many people stop seeing their pain as an experience. They start seeing as an identity. Stress becomes their nature, anxiety becomes their personality, helplessness becomes their fate. Psychology calls this learned helplessness, when the mind learns to stop trying, not because it cannot change, but because it believes that change is impossible. For example of a housewife beaten by her husband, given the situation is sugarcoating by calling it sacrifice. I am sacrificing because of my children. I am sacrificing because of so and so reason. So studies shows that repeated exposure to stress without perceived control trains the brain to expect failure, even when new opportunity appear. This is not weakness, this is conditioning. So there is a symbolic story often discussed in many spiritual literature, the story of a monk who knows his previous birth and upcoming birth as well. And during his meditation, he realized that he would be a pig in next upcoming birth. Then as a pig, if he were to be killed in a particular time, he would be born again as a human. And this birth, he would reach salvation. However, if he dies after that specific time, he would have to undergo many cycles of birth and death, like insects, animals, and so on. Then he called his disciples and explained about place and time to find his birth as a pig and kill him. And he doesn't give any reason of his order. And all his disciples, they agreed. In due course, the monk passed away and born as a pig. His disciples remembers the order and find the pig to kill in a particular time and place. While they were about to kill the pig, he shouted in human tongue, "Please not to kill. Please not to kill me." And after many conversations, even after the order of pig, who was earlier monk, one of the disciples didn't take the order of the pig, but followed the order of his actual master, who was monk, and killed the pig. As a pig, the monk was enjoying his pig's life, his dungeon, his food, which was without any efforts. Suddenly, after killing the pig, he turns into monk, and he was surprised that how he ordered not to kill him. As a pig, how he was enjoying the dungeon. He was in shock. He started enjoying the loving the pain. The message is not about rebirth, but moral story is that once we started accepting our defeat, failures, depression, pity, self-victimization, physical pain, emotional distress, abuse, poverty, misfortune, and so on, we actually program our subconscious. Then we start enjoying our problems and want to remain in our comfort zone. Even it is painful. This puts up in a negative spiral. So the message is this: when awareness is absent, limitations feel comfortable. And when awareness begins, comfort without freedom feels incomplete. So I would like to mention here about something main important part of from Ashtavakra Gita. Ashtavakra Gita says something very radical. I've taken the reference of chapter 1, shloka 4. If you seek liberation, avoid the objects of senses like poison and cultivate forgiveness, sincerity, kindness, simplicity, and truth like nectar. The explanation is basically this is not a moral advice, it is psychological insight. The senses and the mind create attachment to familiar patterns, even painful ones. Awareness loosens that attachment with pain. Sometimes we say that this is my life, I have accepted it. But deep inside, that is not acceptance, that is helplessness. Awareness is totally different. Awareness always says, let me first understand what is really happening. And the moment we understand, the understanding comes, options appears. And it turns to the right and meaningful decisions. Modern neuroscience supports these insights in a different language. The brain changes based on the repeated attention. If you will repeatedly think about stress, stress pathway will be strong. If you will repeatedly think about fear, fear pathway will be strong. If you will repeatedly practice awareness, calm pathway will be strong. And many research shows that the people who are doing meditation and practicing mindfulness, their prefrontal clarity has increased and amygdala reactivity reduced. Prefrontal means prefrontal cortex, our rational brain, logical brain, or you can say decision making brain. Amygdala is our fear center, which is part of limbic system of brain, which manages emotions, fear, survival behavior, etc. So the meditation and mindfulness practices reduces amygdala reactivity, which is fear center, and increases the prefrontal clarity, that is decision making. Awareness does not remove problems, basically it changes the relationship with problems, and that is the main point. Meditation and mindfulness is not techniques to fix the life, they are the tools to see life clearly. When clarity comes, action becomes intelligent. You don't fight with fear, you just understand it, and understanding is transformative. At last, I would like to mention some main important part of my presentation. That is, I would like to explain in few words. During a crisis, intelligent quotient, IQ, gives answers. Emotional quotient, EQ, manages emotions. But something else decides who to become a great leader. What is that? That is spiritual quotient, SQ. Yes, SQ is the ability to act from inner clarity, not fear or ego. Think of leader like Mahatma Gandhi ji, no power, yet massive influence. Or Mr. Satya Nadella, who shifted Microsoft from know it all to learn it all. That didn't come from intelligence alone. It came from awareness and values. It can be better understanding this way. If you are driving a car, then IQ, intelligent quotient, is engine. EQ, emotional quotient, is steering. SQ, spiritual quotient, is the driver who is deciding where to go and why. That is why mindfulness and meditation doesn't slow leaders down. They make them clear. So main outcome from this is to make meditation and mindfulness part of your lifestyle. If you don't have time for meditation, then I think meditation is really compulsory and very important for you. And one main thing, meditation does not mean that you have to live your busy life, but meditation means to make yourself conscious within your busy life. Thank you so much.